I won't flip a house unless I can get a 20% margin. If someone's doing a BRRRR and wants to keep it as a rental long-term, they aim to be all in at 80% because they can take that and they can get most of their capital back. I know it's 75 right now, so 75, 80, but they're getting a higher return on their capital because they leave less cash in. So if you're all into a house for 80, you go to a bank, they'll loan you 80. Do you have any of your cash in the deal? So if you make $1 and you have no dollars in the investment and you make $1, what's your return? Infinite. So there's the math. Now everybody gets excited, oh, an infinite return, but if it's only $1, do you really care? So I've had some people with a BRRRR and they've had to leave $5,000 in the house. Jimmy, my return's not infinite. And I'm just like, it's the concept. Just because you get an infinite return, I had no money in my 120 poorly managed lease option rentals. I had an infinite, horrible, high risk return. So don't get too excited about infinite returns. So the guy doing the work gets the 20%. You create instant equity in a BRRRR and you get a lower down payment, which if you have a pile of cash, like 200 grand, and a turnkey, you're leaving like 40 grand into each deal. So now you can only do 5 turnkeys. But if instead of leaving 40, you're only leaving 15 or 20, now you can do 8 deals. So it just expands the game and allows you to play faster. Make sense? Okay, so you get forced equity, find 2 BRRRRs a year for 10 years, do 20 deals, and you're gonna be set financially. We created this thing called the BRRRR key method. When you work with the Freeland Capital team and you do BRRRR keys, who keeps the 20%? You do. We can do this because we're good at acquisitions. A lot of other turnkey providers just can't get deals that low. The advantage of the BRRRR key is you still keep close to that 20%. It's almost like heaven. It's almost too easy. On a BRRRR key, what's the return on your time? You got an answer? Close to infinite. The amount of time my team is spending coordinating action, that's where all the time suck is. Your guys' time will be limited. And like I said, my team's crazy. They love doing this. So you're also gonna get a greater return on your time. So tired landlord strategy is another strategy. It's an already occupied Section 8 house. And once again, I'm gonna get it to you, line it up to you, where you're buying it at 80% of value. So you take it to Peter, get all your capital back. Generally use private money to do it, get the bank to refi you out, take all the private money back, do it again. Why do these tired landlord deals work? They're way under rented. So my acquisition managers are running around looking for under rented value that generally we raise the rent, and especially if they're Section 8. Rhonda's average rent increase with Section 8 right now is $140 a month. So we like finding houses, Section 8, rented for $700. Take it down. House is usually worth like $100. We'll get it to you guys for $80. Rhonda lets the Section 8 thing renew. You get generally a large increase in rent. So rent's below market. That's a mistake they made. Anybody ever seen Braveheart? Remember at the end, like, just kiss the rose and all this pain goes away? That's what like our acquisition managers are like. I know you hate being a landlord, just sign this paper and all the pain goes away. The other mistake these tired landlords are making is they're playing a finite game. They don't understand cash flow tactics. They don't understand how this silly rental with a tenant who's such a pain in the ass is helping them build their wealth. They don't see it as an infinite game. And is there anybody here who does not understand the subject to deal? Here's the bottom line, is our acquisition managers have made it so that we can take over people's mortgages and then keep it as a rental. So 2020, 2021, first part of 2022, a bunch of 0% mortgages were created. Those deals aren't dead just because mortgages are high now. All that paper's been created, and now we go into sellers' houses and be like, hey, Mr. Seller, your house is worth something, but the paper you own is also worth something, and we'll pay you for your paper. Those returns are absolutely infinite because generally it needs a little bit of rehab. You learn to raise private money. You use the private money to handle the rehab, and then you use somebody else's mortgage, and you have no money into the deal. Can you go from 0 houses to raising private money? So you need to do about 2 or 3 turnkeys to raise private money.